Many a times I see the Lord overriding these things and just speaking directly. There are many layers of the teaching anointing. I've been schooled in the spirit of the teaching grace for quite a time, and I have seen many layers not even known by very prominent people in the society as to what teaching God's word is. I've seen that you can prepare, God can give you a word, and you can write everything down as you get the light. It's in layers, and you jot it down, your notepads, getting ready to feed the people of God. You get that before the program time. Everything is given to you like a written order, like a score. The angel comes and presents it to you, and then when you come out, you teach, and then you bring insight to God's word, and then you unveil it to God's body. So at that point, they are receiving that light as an unveiling, because they are from the things that the Lord has shown to you. That was the same technology that delivered the law to Moses. The angel will be asked to write the law on tablets of stones. Then I saw that the book of Isaiah, a new technology, was revealed. Not that it had not been happening, but it was shown that it has its bearings in the courts of heaven, because there are things that may be existing and there are actions that may have found expression upon the earth. But for you to be able to talk about it with authority, you must be able to link it to the source in heaven. We saw that the angel took a coal from the burning coals before the throne of God and placed on the lips of Isaiah and said, I've anointed your tongue. It means Isaiah does not need to think of what he needs to say. He's not given a word to say while he writes down and then later delivers. He speaks like an oracle. As he opens his mouth, God begins to speak through his mouth. He's told what to say. He's giving what to say at that moment. I like to call that on-the-job training. I use that most times. On-the-job training. On-the-job training is where you are told what to do while you are working. Yes, it's a very, very interesting kind of interaction with the Spirit of truth, because he begins to speak to you right on the very spot. You stand before millions of people to speak. You do not know what he wants to say, because he did not tell you before you came. Only for you to stand there looking at the crowd through the lens of the Spirit. The great one begins to speak his heart, and then he begins to tell you, say to them, say to them, say to them, say to them. This is the atmosphere of the prophets. Say to them. And he opens his mouth and he begins to speak as he hears. Sometimes he marvels at the things that he says, because he doesn't know them. He has to learn of them. For to be blessed by them, he has to learn of them. That he is a vessel that God is speaking through does not mean that the words that he speaks have been formed in him. This is something that most teachers would not like to agree with, but I speak as God's servant, and you can take my word for it. You would have to become even the very words that you speak. The power that you dispense, that power will have to intoxicate you, and that power will have to control you. If it's all about the dispensing of that life without the life having formed expression in you, then it's half-baked. This is the state of most people. There's another layer. That layer is very high. It's touched by prophetic streams most times, but a teacher can touch it. You see, that one, you are a medium. You open your mouth and then God speaks through you. You see, as at that point, you can find, I feel something upon me right now. So at that point, you can find, you can begin to, another person listening to you, Are you with me? Can sense the mood, the tone. It's not yours. Something takes over you, and then God begins to use your vocal cords and begin to speak. Have you seen some prophets and prophetesses? They just fall under the anointing and begin to speak 4 minutes uncontrollably, hysterically. Most people do not like such experience because they call it hysterical experiences. A man begins to speak in a very light voice. A woman begins to speak in a very deep voice. And for some minutes, the echoes of Zion begins to come out through a vessel. It's a very high frequency, and it is so guarded that it is not prone to drossness. It's not prone to dilute. You can't dilute such frequency because you do not know the things that you say. Your mind is not aware of the things that you say. Unlike the second layer where you can think of the things you say before you say them. Although if you are a very flexible spiritual man, although you think on it, it does not stop you from saying it as you hear it, but you will have to think upon it so that you can get it for yourself. I wish I could press